Hello guys, hope you guys are doing well. So this is the continuation of OOPS concept class 3. So let's discuss about inheritance. Inheritance is an important aspect of OOP, object oriented programming. Inheritance provides code reusability to the program because we can use an existing class to create a new class instance of creating it from scratch. In In inheritance, the child class acquires the properties and can access all the data members and functions defined in the parent class. A child class can also provide its specific implementation to the functions of a parent class. In this section of the tutorial, we will discuss inheritance in detail. In Python, a derived class can inherit because class by just mentioning the base in the bracket after the derived class name. Let's check out the screen. That's a base class we have and derived class. Derived class is connected to the base class. And let's check out the syntax. The class derived class is then base class suite. A class inherit multiple classes by mentioning all of them inside the bracket. Let's try an example. Let's go to open the Jupyter notebook and open the Python training session IPYB file. All right, a file has been opened. Let's scroll it down to the end so that we can continue from here. OPS inheritance. Coding. All right, let's create a class animal. Definition speak self. Now print animal speaking. Child class dog. So we'll create a child class dog and if the base class animal. Right. Now we'll create a child class that is class dog animal. This is our child class. Now again we need to define a def bark self. Print dog barking. D is equal to dog. D dot bark. D dot speak. So we have D dog. D is equal to dog. D dog bark. This is bark and this is speak. Let's execute this and see what will happen. Uh, we have dog barking and the second y bound method animal dot speak of. There is something wrong with animal dot speak. We might have something wrong. Print class class dog animal we have bark. All right, we have executed that and we have the result. The output is dog barking and animal speaking. Now, let's go back to our slide. Let's see what we have. The Python multi-level inheritance. The multi-level inheritance is possible in Python like other object-oriented languages. Multi-level inheritance is archived when a derived class inherits another derived class. There is no limit on the number of levels up to which the multi-level inheritance is archived in Python. The syntax for multi-level inheritance is the class, and we call it the base class and base class n derived class. Right. Let's check with an example. You'll understand it in detail. Let's I'll go back to Jupyter Notebook and try the multi-level multi right. Now we will have a class animal. Def speak is self and print animal speaking. Right. Now the child class dog inherits the base class animal. So we'll have another class dog animal. Definition bark is self print dog barking. I've done a mistake here. I forgot to input this and end. So it should be this way. Now we have print dog barking. Now again we have a comment there. The child class dog child inherits another child class dog. Now we have class dog child of dog. Def of eat self, and now print eating bread. Now what do we have? D is equal to dog child d dot bark. Now d dot speak d dot eat. Close. So this is our code for multi-level inheritance. This is an example. So let's execute this code and see what will be our output. So what we have the child, because I forgot to mention the hash set. I execute this. Now we have d dot bark is dog barking, and we have dot speak is animal speaking. D dot eat is eating bread. right? Now let's try with one more example and we'll find out what would be the output, so that will be much easier for you guys to understand. Let's let's check with another example. Right, now class, we go with different one. Calculation 1. Now def summation self comma b, return a plus b. Now we'll have another class, calculation is 2. So we have def multiplication self a comma b, right, return a into b. This is our second. So we'll have another class derived. It is calculation 1 comma calculation 2, def divide self a comma b, a comma b. Now we'll have return a slash b, a divided by b. Let's say d is equal to derived, third one, bracket open close, and now print d dot summation 10 comma 20, and print of d dot multiplication 10 comma 20, print d dot divide 10 comma 20. So this is our short program to see multiple inheritance. Let's execute this and let's see what will be the results we have. So first one, what we have is summation is 20 plus 10 is 30, and the second one what we have multiplication 100 into 200 is equal to sorry 10 into 20 is equal to 200, and the third one is a divided by b, 10 divided by 20 is 0.5. Right, now we'll go to next topic, the is subclass sub method. The is subclass method is used to check the relationship between the specified classes. It returns true if the first class is the subclass of the second class and false otherwise. Right, so let's check this out an example. I'll open the Jupyter notebook and see what we have here. I'll go to heading and I'll see third. I'll execute this. Now we'll start the code. So we have the same thing till d is equal to derived of the previous one. So either we can copy this code or we don't have to print it, we have to execute the last lines of code. So now I'll copy the code and paste it for your understanding. Let's continue the code from just print is subclass. I have changed the is subclass. equal to derived, comma, calculation 2. And the second line was print is class calculation 1, comma, calculation 2. Right. The last example what we have done is, instead of just we have added D here, but here we have added E subclass and then separately derive and calculations. So we can execute this code and see what will happen. The derived and calculation 2. The derived and calculation 2 are true, and calculation 1 and calculation 2 are false. This is E subclass. Right. Hope you guys understood that concept. Now we'll move to is instance. Is instance. Right. I'll copy this. The is instance method is used to check the relationship between the objects and classes. It returns true if the first parameter, that is object, is the instance of the second parameter, that is class. Right. It returns true if the first parameter, that is object, is the instance of the second parameter, that is class. Right. Let's check this out with an example. All right. Let's say class calculation 1 def summation self a comma b return a plus b. Uh, let's copy and paste, and just we need to change the last line. We don't need to copy that anyway. I'll delete this. Just I'll change the last line. Is instance the object and class. D is the object and class is derived. Let's execute this code. So we have true. If I want, I can paste the complete code till here. What you have written in our previous example. This is same code, just at the printing point we are changing, instead of subclass is subclass to instance, is instance. Right. Now I'll execute the code that will be similar. That is true. Right. Let's move to next one. Method overriding. We can provide some specific implementation of the parent class method in our child class. When the parent class method is defined in the child class with some specific implementation, then the concept is called method overriding. We may need to perform method overriding in the scenario where the different definition of a parent class method is needed in the child class. Right, that is method overriding. Let's check with an example. Go back to Jupyter Notebook and I will turn this to heading and I'll enter. So let's say class animal def speak is self print speaking. Class dog animal def speak self is now print barking. D is equal to dog and D dot speak overriding. This is overriding. What it says, D dot speak is barking, but first one was speaking. So we have overridden this one, this. right? Is it clear? So hope I'm not going too fast. I'm trying to be very nominal way so that you guys can understand easily these concepts. Now, real life example of method overriding. So we'll check out the real life example of method overriding. Just focus on this example. I'm sure you can understand this example. Let's create a class. Yes. Class is our bank. Definition: Category: self. Return is 10. Now we create another class Citibank is bank. Def Category is self. Return 7. Now we'll create class, another class HSBC is bank, and def Getroy is self. Now return 8. Now B1 is equal to bank, B2 is equal to Citibank, and Citibank. B3 is HSBC. Right. Print bank rate of interest is, comma, B1 dot Getroy. Print print B2 is Citibank. Citibank bank rate of rate of interest is, comma, B2 dot Getroy. Print HSBC rate of interest is B3 dot Getroy. Right, let's execute this code and see what will be the result. Bank of rate of interest is 10, Citibank rate of interest is 7, HSBC rate of interest is 8. Right? Hope this example helps you out to understand in an easy way. Now let's move to another topic: data abstraction in Python. Abstraction is an important aspect of object-oriented programming. In Python, we can also perform data hiding by adding the double underscore as a prefix to the attribute which is to be hidden. After this, the attribute will not be visible outside of the class through the object. Right, let's try this with an example. I'll copy this heading. Let's go for header. Let's execute this. Now, class employee. And now underscore underscore count is equal to 0. Def underscore underscore int is self employee dot underscore count is equal to employee dot underscore count plus 1, right? Now we'll have another definition. Display is self print the number of employees employee dot underscore count. Right, now we go to emp is equal to employee emp2 is equal to employee. Now try print emp dot underscore count, and finally emp dot display. Let's execute this code. The number of employees are 2. All right, and so the reason why we have it 2 is count plus 1, and in second the print emp dot count is 2 emp dot count. We have that. Now we have an error at emp dot display attribute error. This is the way how employee object has no attribute underscore count. This is our thing. So in this tutorial, what we have learned in this tutorial, you learned about object-oriented programming in Python. Most modern programming languages such as Java, C Sharp, and C++ follow OOP principles. So the knowledge you gain here will be applicable no matter where your programming career takes you. You learn how to define a class, which is sort of a blueprint for an object. Instantiate an object from a class, use attributes and methods to define the properties and behaviors of an object, use inheritance to create child class from a parent class. Check if an object inherits from another class using instances. All right, this is the end of this session, end of the OOPS concept completely. Hope you guys enjoyed my session, and hope you understand the OOPS concept. So it's my suggestion, my advice to you guys is just practice a lot so that you can understand this concept. Just focus on concept, do not focus on the coding. All right, guys, if you have any issues, feel free to contact me. Till then, you take care and goodbye.